Hello everybody and welcome to the next episode of Red Coin, the Nintendo podcast. In today's episode, the guys get together to talk about Pokemon VGC, the upcoming Pokemon reveal, Nintendo making movies, some information about Playtonic's new game Yooka-Laylee, and some NX theories and information.
Hello everyone and welcome to Red Coin, the Nintendo podcast. This is the second episode of the month. What month are we? May? That's right. May. I am joined by Cam, Aaron and Adam. How are you guys, everyone?
Yo, all good, yeah.
Yeah, not so
Doing
bad.
alright, a bit under the weather, but...
Adam's turned to be sick.
Yes.
At least you made it though.
Yes, I never stop persevering and look, even the rain couldn't stop me.
It's cold and miserable in Perth for everyone else.
Yeah, it is very,
right
very cold.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
not that cold, so
It's
it's
been a
pretty
great
cold.
couple of days.
But the good thing about winter is you can
Cuddles.
be inside and you can play more Nintendo games.
That is
can,
true.
yes.
That is true. We've got a bit of news this week. I mean, we are leading up to
Yeah.
E3 and all that sort of thing. And we kind of expected this to be a quiet episode, but we do have a few things to run through. Before we get into it, has anyone been playing any games? Or
Bits and pieces.
yes?
I've been doing research.
Okay, let's talk about some of the research you've been doing.
Research
well,
into video games?
This
Or?
is, yeah, no. Well, this is
Nintendo research?
I alluded this earlier in our pre-podcast interview or speech, and I did some research today at my old job at EB Games about the pricing. They've got their mid-year sale on.
Okay.
Anyone who's familiar with EB knows that they're perpetually on sale, but
Yes.
mid-year is their big one where they've got the big red tape everywhere.
Oh,
Yes.
the whole shop is covered in big red
Yeah,
bands.
so
And
basically...
we're not aware of whether it's a sale or
yeah,
not.
and as someone who worked there, you get so many people coming in and asking that, "Oh, are you having a sale?"
Yeah.
So
So what kind of things can we get?
yeah, so
Name some cheap
this
Nintendo
is just
stuff.
this is just a few from the Wii U's. It's just interesting the price dip that these have taken. So the first one is one that I've suggested since I played it. It's probably easily the top 5 best games available on the Wii U. Rayman Legends.
Oh, great game.
So it's $23 right now,
Wow.
brand new for Rayman Legends. So
So
definitely good to check that
So
one
cheap.
out.
And it has good gamepad functionality as well, that one.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I haven't played much of the other versions of it, but on the Wii U, it's very, very smooth.
Yeah, I think it's probably the definitive version.
It's also good for any other console too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I have heard that.
Mm.
Yeah, this one's for Chris. Shovel Knight is $36.
Oh, awesome. So the retail box.
Yeah, the
box
actual
one.
box.
Wow.
So it's good to see.
So I
it.
think is that still more expensive than the price at the eShop?
Yeah, I think so. But because it's retail, that's
Yeah,
why
sure,
they need
yeah.
to subsidize. But is that Wii U and 3DS $36? Or is that just
this
for the
was
Wii
for the
version?
Wii U. I saw. I didn't
Okay.
see the 3DS version.
Absolutely worth it though.
Yeah, this one's for Aaron. Batman Arkham Origins,
Ooh.
$9.
$9.
That is a steal.
That's
yeah.
great. It's such a good game.
Yeah,
too.
that's brand new. So it's interesting because they had Arkham. What was the other one? Not Origins.
Arkham City?
Arkham City. They also had that, and I think that goes around for $9 as well.
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
I
great.
mean, they've also recently announced a remaster coming to other consoles.
Yeah.
Batman.
That's-
I would
that's-
assume not for Wii U.
No, not for
No,
me.
yeah, nothing is
Just
coming
other
for you.
consoles.
Another one. This one's not actually on sale. This is the standard price, so it might even be cheaper on sale. But Mass Effect 3 is $9.95.
Wow. Jeez.
So
especially if you played the other two.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I back when the Wii U first came out and I was buying every game that came out, I did get Mass Effect, and it does sort of a like a how to say it, like sort of
It's like a storybook.
survey.
It's like a storybook. Yeah.
yeah, like you
It's
pick
terrible.
your sort of
Yeah.
previous like incarnations and information, so it automatically plays some of the backstory. Mass Effect being one of those games that has so much backstory.
Yeah,
heading
and
on it.
especially if you got the game save files on your previous consoles for number 3, they
Yeah.
couldn't do this with the Wii U version because the other games weren't on the console, so they had to sort of fix it somehow. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, and the last one, I mean, there's more to it, but these are just the ones that stood out as the cheap, good bargains. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, $9 as well.
That's
so
That's good.
I
Black
bought
Ops
you
2
that
is
for,
really good.
for your birthday, and it ended
Yeah.
up being surprisingly good. The only downside was the lack of people online, but
Yeah, that really
the
was
co-op,
unique,
the local multiplayer is really good on that with the gamepad usage. That was really good at the time.
I guess those are some big titles for prices like $9. It's really hard to beat, isn't it?
Yeah, you gotta grab them. Like I said, I'm very excited for 3 years' time, maybe even 2 years' time, when the NX is out and established, and the Wii U games are in the bargain bin. You're going to be picking up all those third-party
definitely.
games that
If
you
you can
wanted
find
to
them.
try.
Yeah, if you can find.
Like,
those,
I remember I grabbed Funky Barn. That was $9
On the Wii.
right on the Wii U,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
back at the start, and that was a surprisingly addictive game. And $9, absolutely worth it. It probably would be better off sitting at home on the eShop as a game rather than
that's
a
true.
physical item. But yeah, good game. Like, that was worth it.
No, for sure.
Cool.
So
What
that
you
was
doing, Aaron?
that was my experience.
VGC
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, mainly VGC stuff again. So we just had Italian, German, and the UK nationals,
Okay.
which I was following on
Nice.
Twitch, which was really good.
There's some really good games.
Yeah, some great stuff came out of that.
A lot of the teams I looked at, Aaron, tend to really gravitate around the same 6 Pokemon, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not to be critical of this format. I actually enjoy the format, but I have really noticed that there is the same sort of 6 Pokemon that are tending to get used.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the
They're
standard big six.
The Mega Six.
They're
That's it. They're
called
called the Big Six.
They
call
are
it the
actually
Big
called
Six.
the Big Six,
Yeah.
right? So it's Xerneas,
Yep.
Salamence
Yep.
with a Mega. It's
Kyogre, Groudon.
Kyogre, Groudon. Well, I think it's actually Groudon over Kyogre.
Is
Yeah,
it?
actually.
yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay, sorry, I didn't know.
The alternative is dual primals, which is another
Oh,
team
yeah.
format. But yeah,
Yes,
going on.
and then I think the other 3 are Mega Kangaskhan,
Cresselia,
Cresselia, and
Crow?
Smeagol.
Smeagol sounds about right. Yeah,
Smeagol,
yeah.
I think there's
Something like that, anyway.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the big 6, and that's definitely kicking around. You know, you get another, standard cut and paste teams like again dual primals, Chris,
yep.
and Kyogre and Rayquaza and stuff like that.
God damn,
Um,
Rayquaza.
What I loved about it though was the German nationals. The guy who won it was Arash from Italy. Won it with a Jumpluff on his team.
Yeah, it's so
Wow.
And
So
the
cool.
Jumpluff was just there with chlorophyll and just
Sleep
spamming
powder.
sleep powder, and
That's
he was
all it-
great.
cool. Yeah, it was, I
Oh,
did watch that
it was
game.
amazing.
We did watch that first game.
Oh,
Are you going to get back into it, Cam, this year, or because I mean, right,
So we
regionals
got the
coming
Perth
up.
regionals coming up in 2
Yeah.
weeks, guys.
Look, Aaron, if you manage to get my team sorted for me, Aaron's become our breeder, basically.
Breeder,
He's the one who has been actually paying attention to the
Yeah,
to
yeah.
meta series.
This is the time of the year where
Yeah,
everyone
he's-
just goes,
he's
Aaron,
our
can you
Professor
breed
Oak.
this thing for me?
So we'll be having a few team building days, I think,
Yeah.
and we'll get some stuff together.
I have ideas. I'm honestly I usually try and go not for a gimmick, but just something where I have a strategy. But I think I'm just going to give it a shot. I mean, I'll just do like the big 6 team. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
just do a
sure.
copy paste
I like
team,
that,
yeah.
yeah.
And just
Nothing
enter.
wrong with that at all this year.
Yeah. I mean,
It comes down to luck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who doesn't love
speed ties.
Yeah.
Yes, speed ties. Oh, good luck. Yeah, look, I'll probably use some variation of the big threats used in the game.
You've got a kind of a team put together, but I think it needs to be updated.
It does need to be updated and just fine tuned. And I'm not running Kyogre, I don't think, anymore.
Sure.
He's just not versatile enough in the format.
I just miss my Abomasnow. That was
Use it.
That was
Mate,
my,
use
that was
it.
my
Use
best
it.
team.
Do it.
Hail is a thing
Nothing-
of the past.
Yeah,
Give
it
a
is,
go.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with bringing your favourites, guys.
I'm sure. I mean, that's the thing as well. I think this is such a weather-centered format, but as both primals have those weather abilities, so I'll be interested to see, what teams take advantage of those
Sure.
weather formats, because ultimately, weather can boost those moves so much, and it really just turns the tide. If you're not using weather, it's very hard to combat a team
Yeah,
that does
is-
use
Is
it.
Swift Swim Kingdra getting any play? I feel
No.
like-
No,
Okay.
unfortunately,
Never
yeah.
seen one.
Hey,
actually.
but use
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You do you, man.
Yeah.
I won't, but
So speaking of Pokemon, last episode we were fresh off the press of the Pokemon Sun and Moon
Popular?
starter reveal. Yes.
Yes.
So I was just wanting to get everyone's thoughts on, now the dust has settled. Do you share the same opinion, or
Well,
what's changed? Have you come
so-
around? to any of these
Cam's been done a bit of a 180.
if we listen to that podcast back, I had a lot of hate for the starters, and I still do. There's some pretty terrible starters. Like I don't think they're
Well,
the
they're
best starters we've
definitively,
had for a while.
I don't want to
Different.
say the worst, they're the second worst.
I still.
Who would you
am.
say are the worst out of them?
Black
Out of
and
interest?
white.
Which were...
Yeah, that's true. That's
Samurott,
Uh,
Snivy, and Tepig.
Snivy?
Oh, well, Oshawott.
I like that. I think Piplup is worse than Poplio, but
whoa.
Anyways.
Piplup's pretty cute.
anyways.
But, well, I think we're in agreement
Yeah.
that these were not top tier
Yes.
starters.
The point being, I was very, very upset first. Being the person, I always start with the water Pokemon. I always
Yeah,
have,
we
even
know,
the
yeah.
ones I don't like. So when I saw Poplio, I was kind of bummed out.
Yeah.
But he's won me over. He's cute.
I think it was literally 2 minutes after last podcast.
Yeah,
guys.
I think it was not even after. I think it was during.
It was during. You
I
went
think
through like
at
7
the point
stages
I
of green.
went, Poplio was the worst Pokemon ever, and I love him, and I'm starting with him.
Yeah.
Best ever.
It's literally what he does.
Cam has just completely pancaked on us.
No, I did some soul searching,
Yeah.
and look, without going into my entire childhood, I did some clown training when I was in school, so I have a little bit of a connection to that aspect of the character.
You've also got a
design.
big red nose.
You do.
Yeah, I'll give it back to you when I'm done.
Well, I love Poplio from the start. I'm sticking with him. I
Really,
did
play the episode
Wait,
back.
that was your choice from the start?
from the
Yeah.
get go.
I thought it was
You can
Rowlet.
play the episode back
Alright,
from
well-
get go. I was the one person
Rowlet,
defending
you mean
Poplio.
Root
Rude, yeah. The Rowlet.
Give it
No,
up.
but I've seen plenty of things going around the internet, just general consensus of like, Poplio is the one people don't like.
Yeah.
Would you say Poplio is not very popular?
That's what we would say.
cheesy.
From what I've seen, there's been a various like polls throughout like NeoGAF and Reddit and that sort of
Yes.
thing. Rowlet's on top,
Yep.
unequivocally.
Yes.
Then Litten and then Populo's on the bottom.
See, I would go.
I have seen that.
Ignoring my new love for Poplio, I would say the cat, then the owl.
Yeah, it's because I don't know. The owl's got something that people just really resonate with.
Yeah.
The
No,
owl.
people love the bow tie on the
Yeah,
owl.
it's
Yeah.
the bow tie.
And also, I definitively think for me, the owl is still the front runner at this point in a sea of crap.
Yeah.
But with that being said,
Floats to the top.
to be honest, if the final evolutions don't pan out for any of these starters, I might even try something different. I might even
Box
try.
the starter.
I might. Well,
Ooh.
you know what? I
Every
might box
gen
the
I
starter.
consider it, but I never do.
I've never
I have the
actually
balls
done
to do it.
I've never boxed the starter. I've always had the starter be my primarily thing. But maybe that's what I'm looking for. Is
He's
that-
meant to be your best friend
but
from
to
day
give
one.
myself
Adam.
a little bit more of a challenge,
Okay,
Aaron, is what I'm
alright,
saying.
alright.
Is,
Well,
as
see,
well.
from Black and White, I've always bought both copies of the game and then got all 3 starters anyway, so that's not really the issue for me. Like, I will probably end up having all 3 on my team, just because that's what I do for my first playthrough.
Well, even if you don't buy 2 copies of the game likes to give you starters anyway. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
more
Probably gonna
than
get them
likely
all.
Yeah.
You will get them
I would
all.
love, like I said, that's what we're missing from not having another yellow version since then. Just that having all 3 starters in game is just so good.
Yeah, it is. Speaking of Pokemon
we have some
news,
new news too, don't we?
yes,
Yes.
well, an announcement of news coming on the 2nd of June. So, I mean, I don't know what time that is for our time,
It's
but
not far away.
no, it's not. It's like a week
Is
away.
that a direct?
Don't know yet, Adam. So that's the whole thing. It's just the only thing we get is
We've been
that
told there's
information is
news on
coming.
2 2. That's it.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Please understand.
And it comes from the official Twitter account.
Yeah, it does. From Pokemon, actually.
Yes.
More
from the
Pokemon Sun and
Pokemon
News.
Twitter
This is a
account.
direct quote. More Pokemon Sun and News coming June 2 around 6 a.m. Pacific time. So, well, I don't know what time that is. He's going to do the conversion.
Well, I think first.
Oh, it's right here.
First and
9
foremost,
p.m.
9 p.m. Well, I'd like to put my hat in down and already and predict that we'll get names of those legendaries that were revealed at the direct.
Okay.
Sure.
First and foremost, I thought it was weird they didn't reveal them then and there.
Yeah.
So
That's
I'd like to
true.
see more gameplay. Maybe we see whatever team we're up against.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think
The big
X and
bags?
Y
Yeah,
showed
I
that
think
as well.
I think we'll get a look at that Starly looking Pokemon from the first video.
Oh,
as
the
well.
wireframe.
And maybe like the rodent. I think we'll get a couple more Pokemon
Yeah.
as well. Maybe
Um,
not names, but I think we'll get a look at some.
So it's
more
Thursday,
design.
9 p.m. Perth time.
It's not bad.
I think
time,
we might even get the final starters, like the
I
Evos and
really
stuff.
want this.
I'd
that would be cool.
A little early, I think, but we
Do
still
you
might
guys
get it.
think we may get demos? Not now,
Well,
but like
we
before
got
the game
we
comes
got a
out.
demo for Ruby and Sapphire,
exactly,
so
yeah.
we could absolutely.
I'd like to see a
I'd
demo.
love that.
I think it would be odd with a newer game though.
Okay.
And personally, this is actually something I wanted to raise with you guys. I've had friends of mine that have sort of gone dark before the game starts and not paid attention to any news, so that when they do play the game, it's all
Fresh.
new.
Yes, I did that with Gen 5,
Yes.
and I think X and Y as well. at
And
some point, yeah.
I feel like X and Y was a little bit easy because it was a simultaneous worldwide
Yeah,
launch.
yeah.
I'm going to ask you guys, do you feel that you will stop paying attention to the news at some point? So when you start playing the game, you
No,
can go into it
I've
completely
never had
fresh?
any inclination to do that ever.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
hard, isn't it? Because
It
you're
is
just
very
like, you
hard.
have that... I haven't done it either, really, so...
See, I don't seek out information, but I don't block it out either. If someone says, "Hey, they announced this," I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna.
But
go
if you're on
one
the
way or
front
other.
page of a Pokemon news website and they have it all in spoiler tags,
Yeah.
you're going to open those spoiler tags.
I
whenever
do,
you
yeah.
can.
That's
Yeah,
just me.
probably. But
Yeah.
again, I wouldn't go on the website to begin with. Like, I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't go to any of those types of places.
Yeah.
Just
So I think we can safely assume that this will be a YouTube video again.
Hopefully.
Yes.
You know,
Of
so
some
we'll,
kind.
we'll be sitting
Yeah.
there refreshing.
I'd
our
like to
YouTube
see
page.
this be included with the new YouTube play, sort of.
Maybe it'll be confirmation that Frenzy Plant will be given to Rowlett's Final Evolution. And Blastburn will be given to
Yeah.
Lynn's Final
The same
Evolution.
moves at every start.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's, you know.
Oh jeez.
No, I'd like to think that, especially after how people reacted to the first lot of starters, Chris.
Yeah.
Final evolutions would make sense so they can bounce back from that.
Yeah, I think so too. And don't be surprised to see people's expectations or
Yeah.
change after you see the final.
I mean,
goes.
Froakie
Yes.
was kind of lame. It looked like a frog. But
Yeah, I
then-
mean, Fennekin
and
was
then-
definitely the highest
Yeah.
rated.
But let's not forget, Greninja wasn't revealed until much later on in the
Yeah,
beta.
yeah, it was. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
I think it was even like a week or so before the game.
I
came
still
Well, I think
out.
that's what Cam's saying. It's
I
like,
still
it
went
completely
Chespin that
flipped.
gen.
Yeah, like, because Fennekin looked awesome.
was the front runner. at
Chespin
that
was
point.
kind of cool, and Froakie looked sort of weird.
Yeah.
But Greninja was way better than Delphox,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Chesno is a big pile of crap.
Yeah.
Hey,
What a
I
terrible-
went Chestnut because I thought he was badass.
Yeah.
Ugh.
He had a cool signature move, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, playing it is fine, but just design-wise,
Yeah.
it's terrible.
Well, it's good we all have differing opinions
Yeah.
as well. I think it's the same thing as well.
I'll just wait
It
till
would
it's out
suck
and
if we all
battling
just
each other.
agreed that Charizard was the best Pokemon.
Charizard
But
is the best. Though.
No, it's
Blastoise.
not.
Blastoise is
complete trash. All right.
So moving on from some Pokemon news, we've got some NX news from Tatsumi Kimishima himself.
Good
In a
old
recent,
president.
sort of shareholders briefing, he stated that the NX will be, quote, a new way of playing games, end quote. I just wanted to get your opinions on what that means and what you think it means. Because personally, when I hear that,
Adam,
I
can
get
see
shudders.
I can see you itching to say something.
Well, how much of this do we think is hype
Yeah,
and him just saying it's a new way to play games because it's a new damn console?
yeah.
And how much do we?
How
think
technical is it?
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
bit of hyperbole.
this is a
Yeah.
radical transformation? Knowing Nintendo, we know they like to do things odd and different. My hope is a new way to play means a hybrid handheld and a hybrid console. Something
Yes.
that has never been done before, so
Yes.
hence it would be a new way to play. But I don't even know if the rumours are heading that way
No.
at the moment.
Well, another quote here is, "It's a new way of playing games, which I think will have a large impact in the Wii U. It's something very new, the hardware, the software lineup, and all of it's something I'd like to play for the first time myself, but don't feel is a pure replacement for the Wii U."
Which is good.
Yes. So
Well,
I don't think it's
they
going to
want
be
it to be
motion
a
control.
replacement for the Wii U. I don't think they want it to be a
But at the
replacement
same
for
time,
Wii
they're
U.
not really releasing too much more in the Wii U, are they?
It's difficult.
Well,
What does this mean? I don't know, Cam?
No, they say one thing, but their
Speechless.
Yeah.
I don't know.
they say one thing, but their actions clearly say something else.
Yeah, that's true. But I think it's like kind of read between the lines type deal. They can't really say, yes, it's replacing the Wii U, because that fully just undermines the Wii U, you know?
Yeah.
They've already undermined the Wii U.
How?
Well, I believe that they have, because when they've talked about reducing their forecast to only selling 800,000 more of the things
Yeah, but
before NX comes out.
That's for shareholders, though, so they have to be realistic.
Well,
about
even
that
this
thing.
holiday, they've
Mm.
really... Well, they didn't release Zelda for the Wii U until next year. So again, I don't think they have any faith that the Wii U is going to sell.
Yeah, but
So
no,
I
they
think-
can't directly say that they're against it. Do you know what I mean?
No, they
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
But in terms of the language being used here,
Mm.
I don't think it's even alluding to the fact that NX might not even be backwards compatible, because it will be backwards compatible.
Okay.
I will...
Oh, so you think it'll be
Oh,
backwards
100%.
compatible? Okay.
If it's not backwards compatible, then I believe that they're going to be... they're going to have to show some real reasons as to why it's not.
Yeah.
Technologically
I-
wise.
I
Do you think
think
hardware-based backwards compatibility or like virtual emulation?
I think.
I think even hardware based.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quite
Well, the
honest,
issue that we'll see, because I mean, with PlayStation, player.
Sony and Microsoft don't do it.
Yeah,
Or
and-
Microsoft do now.
And the
but-
idea behind it is, and again, this goes back to someone who worked in a game store when all that stuff came out.
Yeah.
People are like, why is there no backwards compatibility? And it was actually detrimental to the system
Absolutely.
to have backwards
Yeah.
compatibility, because it will cost more to make it work backwards, which
You have
adds
to
cost
fit.
to the
You have
console.
to fit the other console in the box,
And it
basically.
limits it, basically. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're better off.
Downclocking.
You're better off completely focusing on 5K than you are trying to set it to 1080.
Well, I agree with you, Cam, and I think the case with the 360 to Xbox One and PS3 to PS4 was that a lot of people had those consoles when they were upgrading,
Yeah.
and I think there was a lot of a case for that being that like someone might upgrade to a PS4 and not trade in their PS3 because they'd have all that library anyway.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They might have it in another room or something like that.
So what's wrong with not trading your Wii U then? I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah,
but
no,
you know
you're
what I mean?
right.
Like,
You
so it's
are
like-
right. I think I don't know. I just
Because they're
Don't
burning
believe it's-
less people.
well, I don't believe it's in Nintendo's nature to
Mm.
not have backwards compatibility in some form. Like a good
have
example
a
is
fair-
like the GameCube to the Wii. Even
Mm.
that had compatibility.
Yeah.
The GameCube didn't sell that well at all,
No, you're
and
right.
they were smaller discs.
Yeah.
Like no one thought in a million years that medium, that
Mm.
small mini disc would be able to be compatible with the Wii, and it was.
Yeah.
I mean, they eventually removed it out when they reiterated on the Wii.
Yeah, the
much
Wii-
later on
the
in
Wii
time,
Mini,
right?
yeah.
The Wii Mini, which was Canada only anyway.
Yeah, it didn't even come here.
But I don't know. I just don't think it's in Nintendo's DNA to do it. But
And if so, I think it would be some kind of like there would no doubt be the virtual
Emulation, virtual
emulation
console,
for
yeah.
it. But I think it will like especially with the new My Nintendo and the accounts, like there's a lot more connection between multiple devices,
yeah.
so it will detect purchases.
yeah,
And you hopefully be able to like, okay, you've see that's the thing, they don't do surveys for it now, but I would have loved for it to have some kind of proof of purchase that you own the rights to that game. You can now have a digital copy of it for free or for a very discounted price because you've previously
Yeah.
purchased
yeah.
it.
I mean, it's
So it's
tough
hard to
though.
monitor.
With
Yeah.
with a library like yours, which is all disc based.
Yeah.
What's to stop you from trading in those games?
Yeah, that's
exactly.
it. That's what you have.
And again, my issue with virtual emulation, Chris, is that we still haven't reached a point where GameCube games are getting released on Virtual Console.
No.
And maybe Nintendo might make an announcement saying with NX they'll have a whole GameCube library of games, but
But Wii games are.
Wii games are. So
Yeah.
there's the
So
misstep,
weird, you know?
which I can buy Wii games, but I can't buy GameCube games.
Yeah. It's super
And
weird.
I don't know again if they think those GameCube games aren't well loved or well respected, but
They certainly are.
they've
yeah.
even up-resed a GameCube game
Yeah.
in Wind Waker.
Yeah.
So why not try and do other GameCube games?
Yeah, it's very
to
odd.
me.
Very odd to me.
On
as
top
well.
of what we don't know,
Mm.
we've also now been given information that we've been given a new handheld code name.
Yes, well, this is a rumor actually. It just broke about 10 minutes ago, so we're right on the pulse again, Redcoin.
Yeah.
All over
We got a
us.
new rumor saying that Nintendo's next handheld is codename MH. So that's
For
literally
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter
Literally, it's only going to play Monster
for
Hunter.
Master Hand,
Master Handheld.
Master Handheld.
Mario hat.
I don't know, guys. What do you guys think about this? Is this legit or like
Well,
does this tie into NX anyway?
how much
Do you think
have-
they'll talk to each other?
How much have we theorized over the last few months that and the NX is going to be a hybrid between a handheld and a console? Now we're
NXMH.
now being told that
if you rearrange the letters, what does it?
Hunksum.
Hunkson.
Illuminati confirmed.
It
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything. But no, we have, like Aaron, like you've said, we've theorized for all this time that it's going to be a hybrid because 3DS was getting quote unquote long in the tooth.
Yep.
We're in the
It
fifth
is
or
due for an
sixth year.
upgrade.
It's due for
In
an
some
upgrade.
form.
Normally, what they do with the handhelds is they'll upgrade it once, which they have done with the new 3DS. They'll release one game for it, Xenoblade Chronicles, or whatever game it was for the DSi, and then they'll iterate. And so for me, it's this thing of like, are they going to do this again? Like, a new handheld in 2017 is not what the market needs. Like,
But
I feel
like Chris has said, this could be something that's incorporated with the NX. We don't know.
Yeah.
the only way I can see it feasibly making sense would be to have some compatibility. Because honestly, I believe like the 3DS in its current state is the top of the handheld. Like, you can't improve much more on that for what Nintendo
on that form
requires.
factor as well, even.
So I don't like. I don't want to have to buy a new handheld to be up to date. I've bought every change in the 3DS since the DS Lite came out.
Yeah.
I don't want a handheld. I mean, all of us have changed our gaming habits. We
Yeah.
don't do gaming on the go as much, and if we do, it's a quick, short burst on a phone.
Or it's
I
Pokemon
want to be able to game
specifically.
on the big screen on a
Yeah.
TV.
Mm.
If I'm playing these handheld games, I'm playing them at home. I might as well play them on a big screen.
Yeah.
So I think it's really interesting to see what might happen with this. But I just think if it doesn't... And I mean, Nintendo have been talking about handheld compatibility with consoles ever since GameCube and GBA.
Yeah.
Like, we've had the GameCube to GBA cable.
Yes.
They really focused on that during the GameCube. There were bits of it talked about during the DS era. DS DS Wii era, but that wasn't really focused on. And again, it was talked about during the Wii U era, but wasn't again really focused on.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is using your 3DS as a handheld for Smash Bros.
Yeah, that's the closest they've ever gotten with the Wii U.
And then obviously the relationship the gamepad has with the TV, but that's like more... Yeah. It's like closed off for the Wii U environment.
I mean, who doesn't remember, we've all played Pokemon Stadium, having the game pack and the Game Boy, putting it in and playing with your Pokemon
that was a heavy
on the big
control.
screen. But how good was it,
Yeah,
right?
it was
To
cool.
play with your Pokemon on the big screen.
Yeah, still got
And
it.
we've had such disappointing, like, Pokemon big screen games. Like, that's what I'd love to see as well.
Yeah.
Just even, like, a battle simulator, not, like... It doesn't have to be like Battle Revolution. It has to be a
Worst
lot
game
better
ever.
than that. Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
And you can play
That had
with
DS
Pokemon on the big screen.
compatibility, but it was so poor.
But it was so poor, right?
So, you know, you're sitting on your couch, you got your NX handheld or MH or whatever, and you're beaming your handheld version of Pokemon to the TV screen. That's cool.
That's great.
And see, that's not like I feel. I mean, obviously, I don't have the knowledge behind me here,
The
but I
411.
don't feel like that would be that difficult. It's
I don't
just
think it would be
streaming.
good either.
No, it's we're doing it with the Chromecast now.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
So-
They do it themselves with the gamepad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So,
yeah,
but my hope was they weren't going to have to sell another handheld for that compatibility,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like I think all our hopes was if this was in the box with NX, and because the NX has a gamepad of some sort, because we assume that it'll be compatible or backward compatible with Wii U games, and we'll need a gamepad. But then there are a lot of assumptions here, and again, we are just playing
Or with rumors. We know nothing.
the
We know
game.
nothing.
this might be completely.
Yeah, it can be
False.
completely
We might be
false.
completely off base, and a new way to play might be virtual reality.
Nintendo are going board games.
Again.
Speaking of Nintendo expanding, nice segue here. Nintendo is now serious about making movies. So we've seen, everyone remembers the horrendous
Mario.
1993 adaptation of Mario Bros.
Horrendous, legendary.
Cult classic
Terrible.
is the word I would
It's terrible.
use.
It is
I would use
horrendous.
terrible
The
as
people
well.
who made it felt bad while they were making
Oh.
it.
Yeah.
Notoriously
Complete
terrible.
dog's breakfast of a movie. What would you guys like to see come out of Nintendo? They specifically said that it probably won't be anything live action
Yeah.
based off the Mario Bros fiasco.
Yeah.
It'll be something animated most likely.
Well, if we
Nintendo are going to be taking a lot of the reins in development.
Well, I
so
feel
what do you
like
guys think?
this is to go off Nintendo for 1 second, just so it's related. The Ratchet and Clank movie.
Ratchet and Clank. That's
I
what I
can
thought
see
as
that.
well.
It's similar animation to what the game is, using the same characters. It's reimagining them, but it's at the core the same thing. So I can see them coming out with a new Mario movie where it's, you know, sort of like the cutscenes in the Wii U, where it is that sort of it's detailed animation, but it's not live action. It's not really badly done in a studio.
Yeah.
So I can see them bringing out some of these like good stories. So you got Mario, you've got.
I mean, in the 80s
I'd
and
love to
90s.
see Zelda on the big screen.
Zelda movie needs to be done. That'd be great.
One little problem with that.
What's that?
Link doesn't speak.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
a big
You don't
problem.
know
And
about
Link
this new
is
game.
not going to speak for the first time in a Nintendo produced movie.
Exactly. And the problem with Mario as well, he doesn't really have much dialogue. So it's like,
Well,
how do you get around these
disagree.
some things?
I disagree because the thing about Mario is that Mario does talk. We've seen him talk in those animated Mario.
Yeah, he has quite a lot of dialogue even in
have you
games.
ever seen the animated Mario series?
It's on Netflix.
I'm not talking about the revamped one.
Not the 80s style
I'm talking
one.
no. That's
The cartoon show?
there's two series. There's one based more on Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah, which is
quite
the-
authentic.
Which is the
and had like
one.
and was produced in the 90s and had
Okay.
Milli
That's with
Vanilli
the
do a
Coop-
guest
the-
appearance
with
in
the
it.
Coopers and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
loved
That's the
that as a
bad
kid.
one.
That's a very good series in my view.
I loved it as a kid.
And then there's a revamped version of that,
Which isn't as good.
which has an odd animation style, look quite different.
Okay.
And I think it's produced by DIC or
Don't know
DIC
that
as
is.
they're commonly called.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
And so they've shown it can be done, and I
Yeah.
think also besides Ratchet and Clank, the Angry Birds movie has just come out. That's a good
Yeah,
Which
example.
I hear is surprisingly good for
It's
its
cleaning up
premise.
at the box office. Ratchet and Clank did terribly at the box office. So
I-
we've got
it
two
was-
examples there.
It was
with, like,
always going to.
yeah,
anyway,
it's
but
like
yeah.
don't shame. But
Yeah.
like I think something like Animal Crossing would be fantastic as a movie adaptation.
Oh yeah,
see
for
that.
kids and
You know,
stuff.
and
yeah.
it doesn't have
Talking
to
animals.
be. It doesn't have to be tied to
Equals
Nintendo.
money.
You know,
That's
so it's
true.
like people won't necessarily know it is, but it can be.
Whereas
Fire
I think
Emblem.
Mario is a
Fire Emblem would be
harder
a good
sell
one.
because
Like the
so
Final
many people
Fantasy.
in their minds have an idea of what the Mario the Plumber is. But we've even seen Mario most recently been in Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah,
Right? Mario
a little,
was in
little
Wreck-It
cameo
Ralph.
in
Was he?
that.
Yeah,
True.
he made a cameo appearance with Bowser.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
And-
I think
uh,
everyone was in Wreck-It Ralph.
Yes,
Such a
every
great
video
movie.
game
Side note,
character.
Wreck-It Ralph is amazing.
Yes, please.
Love that movie.
You know, the best video game movie of all time, I think,
Pixels
is Wreck-It
was.
Ralph.
Yeah.
Get out. But yeah, we've seen a lot. Like another example of video game movies, we've got Warcraft coming out in a month.
That
We've
looks
got-
epic.
We've got
Assassin's Creed with Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, and a lot of people are
an
saying that
Uncharted screenplay. Like there is,
Yeah.
it's the time for these.
a lot of people are saying Assassin's Creed is going to be the movie to break the video game movie curse.
I really hope so.
I don't believe
love
there's a
Michael
video game
Fassbender.
curse anymore, though. I believe Warcraft will do well.
Oh yeah.
I didn't believe that. My understanding was I saw the Jake Gyllenhaal Prince of Persia. I didn't think it was that bad a movie, and I thought
a
it
lot
did
of people did.
okay at the box office. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't think it did too well, man.
I don't think there's a video game curse, but we'll see what happens.
I think. Yeah, I can see what Aaron means though. Like
Yeah.
it's.
There have been some good movies,
certainly.
but yeah.
Well, if anything, Angry Birds has broken that curse anyway by being the #1 movie, and it's probably
Yeah,
on
but kids
track
are- kids
to
are-
make a lot of money.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
kids are bad.
quite put Angry Birds on the same level as Assassin's Creed, for example.
But it's a movie based on a video game, so I mean, like that's
See, it's
The
not.
Legend
Angry
of
Birds
Zelda
isn't a movie based on a video game. It's a movie based on an app.
Yeah.
It's a video game.
which is a video game.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
It's an
I mean, it's
application,
semantics, but ultimately, I think this is 3-4 years away. Anyway,
It
Yeah,
just
it
just
is.
comes down to the writing. I mean, if you can write a movie about like a very two-dimensional app where it's just shooting things at another thing all the time to make it a box office hit, then surely you'd be able to turn anything into it, regardless of if it's based on a game or a book. I mean,
Yeah.
Game of Thrones is an amazingly popular series, and that's based on a book.
Yeah.
But the writing is good, so it's there. You could base amazing stuff on games, but if you're
How have we not
putting
seen a
effort
Game
into
of
it-
Thrones game yet?
but
Yeah, there's a
there
few
are.
of them.
There's a
Yeah.
Telltale one.
And there's a actual like fighting.
But I
that
think
didn't do
there's
very well.
I think there's a real thirst for, in Hollywood at least, to jump on popular IP that has in other realms that has an existing fan base
Oh, it's
and
why
try
I've
and
seen so many
convert that
reboots.
into movie
Yeah.
dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's a real death of original screenplays in Hollywood. Everything has adapted in some form. So I
That's
mean,
why we're seeing Star Wars and Star Trek again. You know,
Exactly.
reboots of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
so without a doubt, there's no reason why a Nintendo movie shouldn't do well. It's just about the right franchise.
And I put this to you guys:
Mm.
what would your personal choice be for a Nintendo movie?
I would like to see a Ganondorf-centered Zelda
Wow,
movie.
I'd be all up in that.
Okay, my joke.
like a prequel?
My joke would be
Just-
a Waluigi film.
Origin story.
Yeah,
My
I think
joke would be a Waluigi film.
we need more info on Ganon, man.
But 100% Mario. You've got to go with Mario. You can do a good animated Mario film in a beautiful art style
Yeah.
and have it be a great movie.
Have the extended character list. Have everyone show up. I think like it would be good not just to be here's Mario, here's Luigi, oh there's Toad or Hi Princess Peach.
And Peach is kidnapped. No,
Have-
I want to see them all. I want it like a squad. I want it like the
It
Mario
would be interesting
Avengers.
to
you
see
know?
it like not
With a big twist ending.
Not to be based on the games. Like have it a completely
Different story.
different story.
Yeah.
Like it could be
DK rocks up as the anti-hero.
just something like not based on oh we have to go save this person they kidnapped.
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
some like
different thing happen.
Luigi is battling depression. Like
This would be
wow.
crazy, but I think like even a Nintendo crossover in some form where it's, I mean, don't call it something lame as Nintendo the movie, but to have like realms and
Nintendo versus
dimension
Sega.
shift
Similar to what
where,
Wreck-It
like,
Ralph did, yeah.
similar to what Wreck-It Ralph did, where you have Mario going through to all these games in the Nintendo
or a
universe.
series of mini films.
You could, and if you did something like that, you could actually have Link in it as the strong silent guy who just doesn't talk.
Yeah.
You just have him wandering around.
This is the start of the Nintendo Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
right.
You could make the Nintendo. Hey, it'd be better than whatever DC's coming up with.
Yeah, oh, jeez.
I like
Hey,
Throw
whoa,
shade
whoa,
at it.
whoa.
Kirby would make
Yes,
really
definitely.
interesting movies.
And-
Meta Knight, DDD.
Especially since they're
Donkey
saying
Kong would
they're
be
saying
great.
anime.
Yeah.
You know, because my first thing is like Metroid. You know, a sci-fi Metroid
That
movie
would be
starring like I don't know.
Because they don't have to
Jennifer
be
Lawrence.
comedies,
Can we
they
not
could be
forget that
serious
Pokemon
movies.
have been making animated movies forever?
Yeah, but
Yes.
they have not
That's-
been
that's-
good since Pokemon 2000.
Whoa.
Just saying.
Well, I think that's subjective. But
Yeah.
that's more Pokemon Company, not Nintendo.
It's
So
true.
I genuinely think none
Still-
of the fans have thought any of those movies have been good
They've
since
been
Pokemon
okay.
2.
Oh, no, I haven't
They're
enjoyed
alright.
them.
They're,
Yeah.
they're bearable.
They're not terrible.
Yeah.
I'll still-
Anyway,
I'll
my
still
pick for the
watch them.
movie is
Some of them are unbearable.
Splatoon.
Yeah.
Splatoon.
Splatoon animated movie would be awesome.
That'd be cool.
What
Like
would it be?
traditional.
Saving Private Ryan with English.
No.
I don't know. What
I
would it be?
genuinely
Octolings
think-
versus.
It would obviously have to be something to do with like some sort of.
It'd be
Octolings
Jimmy
invasion.
Neutron-esque.
Yeah.
Almost,
But
you know?
I think it would be a more anime style animation rather than a 3D animated movie.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I just think they will aim for the kids, so
Oh yeah.
it'll be less likely to see a Zelda thing.
Oh.
It really will. I'm
What
sorry,
about a
it's just-
Star
Yeah, it'll
Fox
be
movie?
less likely.
Star
Star
Fox
Fox is not their best franchise,
No.
so if
Well,
you
like
dead
the Final Fantasy movies, like they're like.
Spirits Within, we don't acknowledge.
Well, I'm not a big fan. But
that
I
was
couldn't
the
tell you
only
too much.
cinematically released Final Fantasy movie, though. And
But I've
it's,
seen
made a lot of money at the time
Oh,
because Alec Baldwin was in
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
But like, it wasn't bad. Like, it's not going to happen. But I would super be into that Ganondorf movie.
Yeah,
Donkey
sure.
Kong. Do you remember the series?
Yeah.
That was a really good series.
Yeah.
You could-
Oddly
you could-
animated.
And Cranky Kong
Oh
was
yeah,
in it.
you'd want to
Yeah,
up
I did
res it a
enjoy
bit.
Donkey Kong Country, the series.
But,
Yeah.
It was
And
super
even,
weird though.
Kirby's had a series which my view probably wasn't
Oh,
a
okay.
good
I
series.
didn't know about that.
Didn't even know it
A
existed.
very,
Does
very
he talk in it?
short run. He does talk in it. And
Is
King
it
Kirby-
DDD,
typical
King
Kirby
DDD talks in
voice?
it. It's no.
Kirby,
King DDD has a southern accent. It's very disconcerting. Yeah.
I'm going to eat your
It's called
bird.
Kirby Right Back at Ya, and it ran for 13 episodes, and it was dubbed by 4Kids, which
Wow.
used to dub Pokemon. So,
Oh wow, okay.
yeah.
Check it out, guys.
There's a long history of Nintendo animated series.
I mean, there is a Zelda animated series.
Excuse
me,
Yeah.
princess.
Jeez, don't even remind me.
But yeah, I mean, it's years away. It probably is going to coincide with the launch of Nintendo theme parks.
We'll
at
see.
That would be
Universal.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And
Which
that
I
would be
think
a
it would
great
be
time,
great.
you know?
I think it'd be a great time to do it.
The movies will come out when the new Zelda game comes
Yeah,
out. So
yeah.
you got like 5 years to wait for it.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Moving on.
What else
Moving
you
on, we got some
Chris?
fresh Yooka-Laylee updates.
Yeah, we do.
Did anyone back this game? Because I know I personally did. I'm
Yeah,
super
I did.
excited.
I'm not an idiot, so I definitely backed it.
I backed
in
it
time.
as well, I'm not an
Did you
idiot.
back it in time, Aaron?
I did not back
You
in
didn't?
time.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
Oh.
I did back it.
I really wish I did now, and I'm kicking myself, but I just clean forgot about it when I was going on.
I'm sure there's a way to purchase it when it does get released. I
Oh,
did
of course.
back it.
You backed
Yeah.
it?
But I just, I clarified tonight before we started the podcast. I went on my emails because I had been ignoring emails from them for a while. And I did back it on the Backer Kit website that they used as their interface. So I'm hoping that clarifies it. I did elect Wii U as my console
Yeah.
of
Yes,
choice.
me too. So the benefit, Aaron, is now you get to choose whichever console you want to
Yeah.
play it on.
Yeah,
So you don't have to be
it's
stuck to
Lucky
Wii
you.
U. Well, basically, they've released a few screenshots. Check them out on the Kickstarter if you'd like. You just quick Google. I'm pretty sure. it'll do
I
that.
did. I liked the whole. Like, it was the first thing I backed properly, and like,
Yeah, me
I think
too.
they've done it. They've done a good level of interaction. Like the emails are semi-frequent, so
Yeah.
you're not getting bombarded with, "Hey, we decided to change the shade of this tree today."
Yeah.
Like, it's relevant information that actually keeps you going. There was a big announcement recently.
Yeah, so they released a bit of information about the story. So there's an
Yeah.
evil corporation. The big bad guy in the game, his name's Capital B. It's he's the lead, the head honcho of the corporation called Hivory Towers.
Sounds like a beat.
Yeah, it's B. Yeah, it's bees. It's a corporation of bees.
Yeah.
If you guys check it out, it's a lot of subtle, rare
Humor.
and Banjo-Kazooie elements in it.
Right.
So yeah, definitely check it out. I'm super
you-
interested.
We got some new characters. Just
Yeah, you were
briefly.
telling us earlier, Chris.
I really like these guys.
Yeah, so there's a snake character. He's a sort of an army type guy. His name's Trouser.
Yeah, wink, wink.
And you collect pages in the game, so that's the in-game collectibles.
Right.
Like musical notes.
I'm
I guess.
imagining it's a book with eyes.
Well, it's a
I
page
know.
with eyes.
That yeah, okay.
Once it finally loads up. Yeah, so it's a page with ripped edges, and it's like got eyes. So
Alright,
the game's
yeah.
Which
looking
I'm
really,
sure will
really
come
nice.
together into a book or something.
Yeah. A bookie.
A book.
A bookie, yeah, page. Oh, you're probably right, actually. But yeah, there's a lot of cool, subtle Banjo-Kazooie references, classic rare. This is like them getting the team back together. You know?
It
Like
is,
for
it's
one
great.
final. Well, not one final, but you know.
Let's hope not one.
Yeah,
final.
well, you don't want to start a brand new company.
I mean, I have not heard too much about this game, and it has been a long time coming, but I'm still very hopeful of the game, and I believe it has all the makings to be quite a good experience. It's funnily enough on the Kickstarter they're saying estimated delivery October this year, which is I think a good window for it as well.
Yeah.
It's right in that whole.
We're going to be getting around that
We'll have
time.
something to play.
We're going to get Sun and Moon around then too. October, November.
Yes, that's true.
So October, November this year is looking quite hopeful
Yeah.
at this stage.
It
Well,
always is.
we have
That's
no
the busy
idea.
season, so
Because-
it's generally
Also, there's that Paper Mario game that they didn't talk about yet.
yeah.
So. But anyway, if you back this game on PC, you also get a free demo coming out in July.
Oh, cool.
So it's just a toy box with their basic assets and basic environment. You roll around, do basic jumps and stuff.
Which would be cool.
So-
I'm sure we'll still see YouTube videos and stuff
yeah,
for that.
that's it, absolutely. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. That's pretty much it. We probably won't hear any more about it. We might hear it about E3 actually.
Yeah.
Maybe there might be a Microsoft conference or
That'd be
someone's
cool.
conference.
Yeah,
I'm not
maybe.
sure.
Hopefully.
Moving on, the last bit of news we've got is a Super Mario mashup for Minecraft. So I know Cam, you're a big fan of Minecraft.
Yeah. I haven't got it on Wii U yet though, because I feel like having it on too many consoles.
You've got a lot of copies of the game, don't you?
Well, I've
Two or
got
three.
yeah, I've got a couple. So I mostly just played it on the PC.
Yeah.
I honestly I'm considering getting it just to have a look at the Mario stuff.
It's a free update. So
Yeah.
you buy the game, it's a free update to skin. And it's actually more than just skins. There's a lot of hidden elements, and they've gone into a lot of detail.
Yeah.
It's really cool. They've created whole new worlds, like the castle from Mario 64, like Sunshine.
And the guys from
Galaxy and
Minecraft
stuff.
are well known at doing this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah,
like just taking
absolutely.
everything to the extreme.
Yeah, I feel like if I got some Nintendo money for my birthday or for Christmas, then I would use that to get this, but I'm not going to pay for it outright.
Sure, yeah.
But I'm just looking at some of these screenshots now, so I can see, for anyone who knows Minecraft, the heart system has been replaced with the Mario hearts, and the food system has been replaced with the mushrooms.
There's a
And-
creepy looking Bowser.
But yeah, no, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. So that's a Super Mario Sunshine hub
Yeah.
world there.
It's crazy too, because last time I saw anything happen from Minecraft was when last year's E3, Microsoft did their kind of augmented
Oh, yeah, that
reality.
HoloLens thing. That's
Yeah.
stupid.
I mean,
thing.
I'd love to see one day via Minecraft, we see some sort of Mario VR or AR where we are Mario running around smashing blocks.
You know what's interesting though, Aaron? Now that you say it, this is a Microsoft game.
Yeah.
Like it's somewhere on the box or whatever is going to be a Microsoft logo
Yeah.
next to a Nintendo logo. That's just super weird. Like, did you guys ever think that would ever happen?
It was
Like,
inevitable, but you didn't think it would.
I mean, we are hearing talks of, Microsoft wanting to do a lot of cross-networking with PlayStation
That's
and
true,
PC and
yeah.
Well,
stuff.
that's happened already now.
Well, not what we want it to be, but yeah. But, we are getting to a stage where walls have been broken down and a lot of cross-platform stuff is happening, which is good.
We're getting closer to the PS Wii 60 era.
You.
One day.
I don't think we want to see that.
No, I don't want to see that either.
I believe that competition is what keeps these game developers
Oh,
yeah.
for sure,
iterating, in a way that makes
But it is
sense
good
better.
on the odd occasion we are seeing barriers broken down like this.
Yeah.
Certainly.
I always want to see steps taken to make the next big thing.
I will say I've never been more motivated to play Minecraft than I have. After
Absolutely.
this update,
I
to
thought
be
the
quite
same
honest.
thing. Still not going to, but
It's
You're still not going.
No.
I think I genuinely
if
might.
you've
even
never,
take a
I mean,
punch.
look, I don't. The sales of Minecraft speak for themselves, so I certainly don't need to speak for them. But it's a really good game. Like it's fun.
yeah. Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Can you guys imagine if this was released at launch day of the Wii U?
Oh,
How much of a different story would this Wii
Or maybe even
console
alongside
be?
Mario Maker.
Absolutely.
Oh.
If they had sold Mario Kart on release, it would have been like. There's so many. Things
Again,
they
a
could
lot
have
of
done,
ifs, ands, and
Ifs
buts.
and
But
buts,
I mean,
okay.
and that's the question: is NX going to have those games at launch?
Well, we know
still
NX
don't
will have
yet.
Zelda.
We'll have Zelda. But going back to what we're talking about NX, like that's why they delayed it, right?
Yes.
To have a strong software launch.
Well,
Let's hope.
And like I previously said on this podcast, that strong software launch needs to be 5 big titles.
Yeah, I think so too.
It needs to be
I'd be happy with two
not
or three,
all
but-
at once, like right? Not at,
5 in the first month.
in the first month. Really?
I
Okay.
think if you,
okay.
I'd be happy with 2 or 3 at launch.
I don't know. I think you can make a really big statement with 5. I don't think.
People have only got so much money though, Adam.
But
So much time.
But I believe that there's been this thing in the past where there's never been. It's hard to say what the strongest launch has been
Yeah.
for a Nintendo console. Because we look at Wii. Wii's probably a good example. They had the Zelda and they had the Wii Sports.
Yeah.
2 big titles. But I think this is the thing. It's like they can't afford to come up with a new franchise and expect
Yeah.
it to do well.
Yeah.
Nintendo
Well, Splatoon
Land-
did really well.
Nintendo, yeah.
That was an outlier, though.
Yeah,
But
that
I'm
was
saying
a lot.
that was something that was given lead up time and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. This isn't like Nintendo Land is the one they tried
Yeah,
to launch
yeah,
the Wii,
yeah, yeah.
and that's not really.
Which was a good game.
Well,
It was, but like it had nothing.
Oh yeah, it was no.
It
There's
there's
a
no-
mini game collection which
Yeah.
we'd seen.
I had a lot of fun with it.
a lot of. I like Nintendo Land, but it's
I-
not topping any Game of the Year lists.
Oh, not at all. And it's
anytime.
not as good as Wii Sports, obviously.
Yeah,
No.
that's a game that you go back to when you have friends over who haven't played the Wii U before.
Mario Chase.
It is a good example of everything that the Wii U could do.
We should bust that out tonight.
Yeah,
Mario
play some-
Chase?
some Mario
We
Chase,
should
some
bust that
Ghost.
out tonight. But with that being said, I do believe if they really made a statement with 5 titles, I don't care if Chris, you would say that, people only have so much money.
Yeah.
Because we've shown in the past that Nintendo have what are these evergreen titles where they do constantly sell throughout the year.
Yeah.
A year later, 2 years later. So
At
they
the same
could
price.
do that
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the same price.
Plus, it gives
and
more
people
choice.
still
If
buy it.
there's 5 big titles, that means people are 5 times as likely to buy a console for a title.
Yeah.
But it does hurt the sales though. Like, if you release a Zelda and a Metroid, what's everyone going to buy?
You don't want too much competition.
Yeah.
for all
Yeah, we
that
have like
stuff.
different tiers of Nintendo franchises,
Yeah.
right? So I think Zelda is in the A tier, right? So there must
Yeah.
be another A tier coming,
Mario.
whether that's a Mario of some kind, and then you have a B tier being
Like
a
a Pikmin?
remaster, a Pikmin, and a remaster of Smash Bros.
Yeah, I
And
see.
then you can have a C tier, which is like, I don't want to say another Kirby game, an Animal Crossing
Yoshi
game.
game.
Yeah, I see what you mean, though, Adam.
And
Yeah.
then
even,
that's 5
like,
titles.
like a Mario Kart and a Mario World. Like
Yeah.
two very different games. They're both A titles, but they're both very different.
Yeah.
Gameplay. You're not gonna. Yeah. So you're gonna have different.
But I do think that it hurts the sales initially.
I
Maybe
can
not in
see
the
what
long
you
run.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why not stagger them across? Maybe 1 per month or something.
Well, Nintendo do like to stagger things.
Or
so-
at least I think
Chris, you're probably
Scattering
right.
them more like
find a middle ground there and announce straight up these are the games that are coming out over the next few months.
100%.
And
Yeah,
then-
100% agree.
And then do it so that people are buying it in hopes of these games coming out, having time to play everything else while they wait for the
Yeah,
next one.
that's it. If they say, okay, we got Legend of Zelda, we got Mario launch title for NX,
Yeah.
and in June you're getting Metroid, and in July you're getting Pikmin, and so that's what I think. That'll be awesome.
I think we've pretty much covered everything.
We have
there, haven't
exhausted every news topic
Yeah.
that we have. The next
That-
time you
that
guys
was
hear
quite
from
a bit
us
though,
will
yeah.
be after
Yeah.
Pokemon Regionals, so
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
be coming back champions, four-way tied champions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next episode will be Pokemon Regionals, and it'll also be E3 hype.
E3
Yeah,
hype.
E3 hype. I know we know there's only going to be Zelda, so it will just be
Yeah.
me
Not much
preparing
to
my
hype.
body.
Yeah.
It'll just be me really just talking about.
Unless the new
And
Zelda
I
is
guess
in VR.
between now and then too, we'll also get the next lot of Pokemon news.
That's
too,
true, so we'll have that
It
talk
could,
about
it could be always be some prizes. But look, as always, like, comment, subscribe, share on Facebook, iTunes, YouTube. Tell your friends.
And guys, can I just say also thanks for the people that have liked and commented and stuff on our
Absolutely,
stuff
yeah.
until now. I think
Yeah.
you guys definitely deserve a shout out.
we had a nice little boost of likes the last little while.
Yeah,
as
so we've
well,
had a lot of attention come through the page. Keep telling your friends, keep spreading it around, and keep feeling the love.
So, and if you like our content, just let us know. And if you don't like our content, let us know so we can
Yeah.
improve.
Yes.
Yeah,
Any criticism is constructive criticism.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so until next week, guys. Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye.